So they were put in the Heichal Hashem, and in order to see them, you would have to look through the windows that were in the front on the Mizrach side, that were going outward. But you would climb up the ropes, and you were able to look into the Heichal, the chains, able to look in to see them. Now, some commentaries say
where were these crabs?
Somewhere in the Heichal,
Floating?
I don't know. Some commentaries say that when it says over here that they were in the Heichal, they weren't mamish in the Heichal. They were in, what do you call those things? There's like little
Enclave.
Enclave? Is that what it's called? The enclave? They were put in enclaves in the wall, and they would climb up, and they were able to look at it. Look at those crowns. The Rosh over here asks, did I see that Rosh? That's the question. Yeah. Some say that the Ataris were only windows, and they were made like crowns. It says, put it on Yeshua's head. He says, no, there must have been two things. He says, V'cheiner nimtze b'shem Reb Kleinimus Ishraimi. He says that's the pshat that he heard from, or he found from Reb Kleinimus of Rome. Must have been one of the early Shainim. Okay, where are we holding? Now, Begefen Shel Zav. This Mishnah we already had in Tamid. Begefen Shel Zav. Haisayim Desal Tischi Shel Heichal. There was a golden vine that was going over. We can't see it over here, but inside the Heichal would have been over the doorway. Would have been this golden vine, and Umudla al Gabi Kleintzis, and it was hung by these hooks. Kol Mishu Misnadev Aloi Gargir Ayeshkol Mevi V'Teilaba. Anyone that wanted to donate gold to the temple would donate a leaf, a grape, or a cluster, and he would go and hang it on there. This was, what did you call it? The tree of life.
Amar life was grapes.
Amar Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Tzaddik. Ma'aseh Nimna La Shalish Meis Kainim L'fneis. Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Tzaddik. He was actually around then. He said that there was a story where they had to have 300 kainim to move it, and the Gemara over there says, the Gemara in Talmud said that was an exaggeration. Okay, someone over here.
Nimnu could mean that they all wanted to go ahead and get it. They counted 300 kainim waiting in line to go ahead and grab it.
You think so? Nimna la shalosh meis kainim l'fneis.
Saying the word nimnu
Nimnu probably means appointed.
They all signed up.
Maybe.
Everybody signed up to take carry the gold, the speckle of gold.
Tzaddik was a Tana. He was on the fasted. It was in the days of Rabbi Yechim ben Zakkai. So his son, Rabbi Elazar ben Tzaddik, would have been in the days of Rabbi Akiva, the Talmidim.
Makes sense if you're going to move something heavy to get a bunch of guys ready.
Sure,
I don't know if it was heavy, man. I think it was gold, I don't know about the heavy part.
The gold. And
I think the gold was pretty interesting. Today they make diamonds.
The entranceway of the Heichal, Gavai Esrim Amma, was 20 Ammas tall. Barachvai Eser, and it was wide 10. Barbad Lasa Sayalai, and it had 4 doors. Shtayim Bifnim and Shtayim Bachutz. You see, the thickness of the wall, was it 5 Ammas or 6 Ammas? The thickness of the Heichal wall in Yitzhak. Let me see. But it was 6? The Halal was 6 Ammas, you're correct. There was 6 Ammas, the thickness of the wall. So there was a door on the outer part, 1 Amma in of the doorway, because the doorway was a big doorway. So in the outer part there were 2 doors, each one was 5 Ammas, and it would open up like this. And then there was another doorway on the inside that would also open up. It was 5 Ammas. I'm just imagining, like sometimes the waiters come out of the kitchen and the doors like swing open. So there were like 2 sets of doors. So they were open like that's not exactly, but Shenemar Shtayim Dalseis lahechal l'kodesh. There's two doors to the hechal and to the kodesh. Hachitzainis niftachis l'teicha pesach l'chasasei b'shel kaisel. The outer doors open. Yeah, you'll see. That's the next opinion. The outer doors would open to cover the inner part of the wall. That means when it opens.
Inward.
You have a picture there? Yeah, this may be easier. Okay, let's see. Okay. You see, I don't know if this helps, but it's saying how the outer doors open and cover the thickness of the wall, and the inner doors open and they cover the width inside. If it's the hechel, the whole hechel was 20 amas. 10 of them was taken up by the door. So then there's 5 on each side. And the door is 5 amas. So it just opens up and it covers the back of it. Now, it says like this, that it covers what's behind the door. Because the whole house, the whole heichal, is covered with gold except with what's behind the door. What's behind it doesn't need to be covered because whenever the door is open,
You don't see it.
you don't see it because it's there. It's covered by the door. It's like the rabbi had a very long beard.
If they had so much money to have the whole Beis Hamikdash remodeled and all this gold and everything, didn't have a little extra.
Who's gonna see it? How do
They
you
said
know?
that this rabbi had a very long beard. They said, why do you wear a tie? No one can see it anyway. He says, how do you know I have a tie? Okay. So Rabbi Yehuda says, "B'teicha Pesach hayu aimdais," that it was actually all held within the doorway, not behind the door, but within the doorway. You come in, it's tarimta hayu. Anyone have a good translation for it's tarimta?
Pocket door.
The Rambam says, "Oh, this is a well-known word that they have. That it would be a doorway that
Accordion door.
and a sort of, but it just folds in half. So that's way. What was it? So it would open. Let's say this was the door. It would open like this, but then you could fold them up so they would go like that, and then and then the inside would have the same, and it would fold this way. It would open this way, and then it would fold like that. Yeah. So that way, it didn't cover the back of the heichal. It only covered the space inside the door. Elu shnei minakos lachrem. Elu shnei amas umechza. Elu shnei amas umechza. Chatzi amma umezuz mikan. V'chatzi amma mezuz mikan. There was a half amma of the doorpost. Why does it say umezuzah? I don't know. Shnemer shtayim dalseis ledalseis shtayim musabes dalseis shtayim ledelas achas ushtei dalseis lacheres. So there were 2 doors per door. I just want to know, what does it mean? Chatzi amma. Oh, that's good. We take out the umezuzah. Chatzi amma mezuzah mikan. A half a amma of doorpost on this end, half a amma on that end. In the Gemara it says mezuzah. Sounds like you had a mezuzah, 2 mezuzahs there. No, so there's a half a amma of a doorpost on this side, half a amma of a doorpost on that side, and the whole thing was 6 ammas, but the doors were each 5, and they folded in half, so it's 2.5. They covered the inner 5 ammas, and there was a little space on each end of that. There were 2 small doors to the great big doors. One was on the north and one was on the south. This Mishnah we learned in Talmud as well. No, we're now inside this room here. I don't know if you can see over there. Can you look inside? The professor said the raiders came in and they took the ark.
back up one second. You said the wall was 6 amas?
Could you give him one, please? Come on.
Right.
So
You said the wall was 6 amas?
Yeah.
But the doors were
5.
So half and half is 2.5 doors. That's 5 amas, no?
Yeah. So it's 5 amas. It says half an amma would be on this end and half an amma on that end to cover, which was the last amma. So one there was a little tiny door in the heichal. One was on that side and one was on that side. This side is the north. That's the south. The one on the south, that door over there, no man ever went through. The pasuk Yecheskel tells us, Hashem said to me, this door should be closed. It should not be opened. Because the God of Israel will come through it.
That's the same.
That's the door.
Yeah, we mentioned this.
We mentioned, is it right?
No, it says tzaddikim.
It's closed. Not the less maftayach. He would take the key, upasach es pishpish, and he would open up the small door. Nichnas la ta. He came into the ta, which this area over here, which we're gonna have to learn about, is these little storage rooms, little complex. See, I'm gonna need your help with the ta. He would enter into those little storage rooms. One of the first storage room. From the ta, he came into the heichal. Rabbi Yehuda says that this was in the thickness of the wall. He would walk in between the
Whether that's how it was or not, I like this.
Look at this. This is the way we learned it in Talmud. This is the big doors, but they were open from the inside. So there was this tiny door over there that had a storage room. He would go into you see that? Go into the storage room. And from there was a side door there that he was able to come in and then open up from the inside. There was a beam. Rabbi Yehuda says that yes, he would go into that storage room. But then he could walk in between the thickness of the wall and come in over there and then open up the door. He opened the outer one from the inside and the inner one from the outside, in between the two doors. Now, according to Rabbi Yehuda, who's saying this? Rabbi Yehuda? Rabbi Yehuda also had that interesting doorway before. So the way they folded, they would be locked.
Inner
and outer, because they would fold in. Rabbi Yehuda, if there would be a beam that would close the door, they wouldn't be able to fold because the inner one folded outward. So the beam on the inside of it wouldn't allow it to move. You follow that?
Where was it?
What architecture?
This is according to Rabbi Yehuda. Let me.
For somewhere else?
Yeah, no. Rabbi Yehuda's opinion was that the doors were like these French doors,
Yeah.
and he's also saying that the Kohen unlocked them from in there.
Right. Now you said Rabbi Yehuda has the same thing.
Oh, so Rabbi Yehuda's opinion is that the Kohen unlocks them from in between the two doors. But he also had the opinion that the doors were these French doors, like that, which would mean that they folded in. The inner doors were unlocked from there, right? So that would
Where?
there must have been a beam that went over there and a beam that went there.
Got that.
You wanted to
Yeah.
keep us apart.
The little passageway.
We did it, and my picture is more complex, but yeah, that's the idea. And then, there must have been a beam that would be locking the doors over there. Now, you notice that they recognize that, and they put that little mark in the doors to show that that's Rabbi Yehuda's opinion, that the doors are those French doors. Okay, let's begin the time.
Yes. What? Yes. Oh, wow.
Let's begin the time. It says, Ushleishim Ushmeina Ta'im Hayasham. There were 38 time that went around. Ta is the word that we'll use for the, you have a translation of it?
Storage rooms.
cells. They were cells. Chamisha Sibitzafin. There's 15 on the north, which is on this side. There's Chamisha Asar Badarim. There's 15 on the south, which is that side, on that side of the Heichal. Ushmaina B'marav, and there would be 8 in the back. Shebetzafim Shebadarim, on the north and on the south, Chamisha al Gabi Chamisha, Chamisha al Gabayim. There's 5, 5, and 5, which makes 15. That would raised up. V'shebamairav, and on the west, Shleisha al Gabi Shleisha, there's 3 on top of 3, and then, which is 6, Ushnayim al Gabayim, and then there's 2 on top of those 3, which would make, let's see, this is good. There we go. This is a good picture.
Oh my God.
So you're looking without the heichal, you're just looking into those cells. You see the back? That there's 3, 3, and 2?
They have stairs like in
So it's going to discuss that. That there was like a trap door. Like on the... There were 3 doorways to each one.
each one of those.
That means you could get in, go to the next one, and you could go up. Echad l'tamen hayamin, echad l'tamen hasmal.
So they were all open.
It's missing.
No, it's good, but this one should have a doorway also.
I want to refund.
How did you go up? There was a step ladder?
We're trying to find that.
Floating.
Escalator.
Over here it shows the
Oh,
ladder,
spiral.
but that could be just at the beginning. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the floating.
It's not each one.
Without steel or wood.
Floating.
V'echad l'tashal gabav. One to the right, one to the left, and one on the top. Ubekeren mizrachis tzfainis. Mizrachis tzfainis. To be that first one. Hayu chamisha psachim. There were 5 doors. 5 doorways in that first one that you went into over there. On the right side. Echad l'tami miyamin. One would go to the ta on the right. V'echad l'tashal gabav. One went to the ta that's on top of it. Ve'echad l'mesiba. One would go to the ta that's under it. Ve'echad l'pishpish. One went to the doorway. Ve'echad l'heichal, and one went into the heichal.
Isn't that the one that would see either the winding ramp or the winding stairwell going around?
Yeah. So tell me what this means. How did you understand?
At 5.
Yeah, but
So one goes to the right. That's to the next room that goes to winding stairwell going around the upstairs. One to the left where he would go in with the keys to open up. Okay, there's 2 to open up the doors. One straight ahead,
I like
the
this
next
one.
off. One downstairs. One upstairs.
okay. He's standing right over here, right? He's standing in this one.
They're in a
So
winding ramp.
there's a door going that way. What is it? What is the door going that way
That
go
way,
to?
that way is
Yeah.
going up. Starts going upstairs.
Okay. To
No,
get
no.
to
That one
goes
is
to the
winding-
above.
The one to the right is the one that goes around to get to the upper
Nesiba
floor.
is soiviv.
Yeah.
It surrounds the whole thing.
How far around did it go?
Just to the next floor.
Just up there?
The one to the right, this whole thing that's missing that you're not seeing is basically going up till get upstairs here to go all the way upstairs.
So it would walk me around the whole
It'd be
back.
like a ramp.
It would go
it'd be
all
like
the
a-
way
a
around and
sliding
would come
ramp
up to the
going
top to
all
go
the
to
way
the.
To the to the second
To the
floor
second floor above the
on
heichal.
top of the Kodesh, yeah.
Okay.
Like a
So that would be
shoe
one
down
door
there,
there.
has on Shabbos.
What was down?
So theoretically, the way the Rambam shows is that really you might be in this one.
Uh-huh.
And this whole thing is the basement, so that you're going actually downstairs to that one.
Oh, okay. So we're not really dealing. So according to that, when it says that there's 5 doors, it's referring to this one here.
The Mesiba was a lip outside the wall. That you
Was
it
it
was like a
within the
ramp
was it
was
within
a-
the wall?
outside the wall. It was a.
If you go according to Rambam, you're gonna have the ulam. Really, you have outside walls around the whole thing.
So it was
If
an
you have a
inner
carcass
wall.
defense strong like this, you're starting off anyway with the ramp on the inside where there's a wall, but then you're gonna get upstairs on top of the time here. So you end up here on top of the ramp, and then you're up here. It still isn't like this would have to cut into it because either the ramp or the stairs, whatever degree angle it is, it went partially up this way, partially up this way, and partially up this
So it
way.
went outside at some point.
It's an outside ramp.
Yeah, but then you have another
a
opinion
little
that it
lip.
went all the way up. Let's say on this
It's a
side,
little
it
lip
would be all the
that
way
would
around
go on
outside.
a ramp. All the way around.
I feel like a fire escape that they build on apartments.
Yeah,
You know, so I mean,
they had to get upstairs. So how are they getting up there? This
It's
is
a
not
little ramp.
How
a
do
lip.
you
building
get
was not
down
OSHA
the ramp
compliant.
If you're always walking counterclockwise?
Okay, let's leave it over here.
By the way,
Mitzvah Shem
we're
tomorrow.
today, Dr. Laz, David Baruch Ben Tehiva, he has needs of a flush lamp.
The shingle.
So tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem will finish the Masechta. I believe that we won't need a
There, Europa.
Masechtas needed tomorrow.
In the US,
Although
they would never
if we do have time, I'll use one. You don't have to schlep, whatever. If we have extra time, we'll continue.
Smith, you have to tell me what to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
The Yitzi's gonna make the Yitzi's gonna make the siyum.
If you want Lego,